Max Marauders. Listen in every Wednesday morning for your weekly update on McMaster's varsity sports with Lindsay Hamilton. Max Marauders, 9:30 a.m. Wednesday mornings on 93.3 CFMU. Good morning, everyone. Wednesday, March 13th, and it is a lovely day today, or at least I think so. Currently -1 Hamilton, Ontario. If you're new to the show, welcome. As always, every Wednesday morning, I cover all of McMaster's varsity sports happenings and all the athletic and recreational activities kind of going on in the McMaster Hamilton community. And every week, I bring a special guest on the show, which is really exciting. We sit down, we chat, we talk sports, and it's just a lot of fun. You know, every week we kind of highlight Sport 101. So we've talked curling 101, we've talked basketball 101, fencing 101, a lot of exciting new things you'll learn every week. And speaking of special guests, this morning, I will be joined by Jeremy Walsh. Jeremy is from the men's track team, also does cross country at McMaster. And, you know, some of the track members recently were in Edmonton for CI's, the national competition, this past weekend. And the whole team will be participating in Relay for Life. That's happening this weekend. So we'll be talking to Jeremy about all of that later on in the show. You won't want to miss it, so make sure you stick around for that. For now, though, let's kick off this morning's show with a song. And coming up in just a little bit, I'll be filling you in on our athletes of the week this week and how some of your other McMaster varsity sports teams have been doing. You're listening to 93.3 CFMU. Hey, you're back in the studio with Lindsay Hamilton. You're listening to Max Marauders on 93.3 CFMU. And as promised, right now we're going to get back to our varsity sports happenings. We're going to be talking athletes of the week right now. So, congratulations to two athletes. Both actually happen to be from the McMaster track team. First up, Scott Hutchinson, fourth-year student, and he actually has strep throat right now. So, sending get better soon kind of wishes to Scott right now. But he did have a great past weekend, so, you know, he was healthy for that. He, in the 300-meter distance at the track and field championships in Edmonton, won a bronze medal, finished the 300-meter race in a time of 34:34 to win the medal. Congratulations, Scott. And he also ended his season by breaking his own McMaster record at the distance, which must feel nice. So congrats to Scott. And also for our female athlete of the week, Victoria. Victoria Coates, she was actually in the studio a few months ago during her cross-country season, was doing extremely well there, and also had a fantastic track season this year. Victoria also won a bronze medal in the 3,000-meter race at the track and field championships in Edmonton, and she completed her race in a time of 9 minutes, 43 seconds to earn the bronze medal there. So 2 bronze medals from the track team this weekend. Very exciting stuff. And as mentioned, we're going to be talking to Jeremy Walsh from the track team, also a cross-country runner, later on in the show. You won't want to miss that. He'll kind of give us the inside scoop, how much the track team practices, what they're up to, what their season is like, so you won't want to miss that. And that's our athletes of the week. Let's talk also a bunch of other sports happenings going on at McMaster. Women's basketball, they finished up their season this past Saturday. They played for the OUA Bronze. Unfortunately, they lost to Ottawa with a final score of 71-50. With the win, Ottawa now goes on to be awarded the opportunity to compete at CI's. That's being held in Regina this week. But the Marauders did finish the year with an overall record of 20 wins and 15 losses. And, you know, the entire roster is actually eligible to return pretty much. So that's really exciting for next season, next year. I know they're probably excited to get the entire team back out, you know, and give it another shot next year. So congratulations to the women's basketball team for a great year. Also, talking track again, not only did Victoria and Scott have a great weekend in Edmonton, but there were a few other runners that had a great weekend. Rudy, he ran the 300 meter, Rudy Baronet, and finished 8th in a time of 35 24 seconds. And then the men's 4 times 200 meters and the relay team, the other 4 times 400 meters, they were McMaster's other entrants in the national championships. And that consisted of Hutchinson, Barnett, Connor Mabbitt, and Garrick Mock. And they finished 7th with a time of 1:31:22. So congratulations to all of them. They all were out in Edmonton. Pretty sure it was quite cold out there as well. So they faced the cold, but did very well inside during the track and field event. So congratulations. And then also rowing. They've been having a fun season this year. We had a few rowers in on the show not too long ago. And not too long ago, they also had an indoor ergometer. How does that word? Ergometer race. We talked all about the ergs when they came in on the show, and it was fun. So they had a great race, actually. They had a little indoor tournament not too long ago, and they kind of host it. I'm pretty sure it happens in Musk. And what they do is they get on the ergs there, and they battle it out. They do 8,000 meters of this like awful sprint work. They were talking about it in the studio not too long ago, and they kind of rotate. Each one of them gets on the ergs, does a bunch of meters until they're pretty much dead exhausted, and then they swap places. So that happened on March 9th. They gave it their all, and I know that went really well. So if you want to see all the results for that, you can check it out on the Marauders website, www.marauders.com. So that's exciting. So yeah, we've had a lot kind of going on in McMaster varsity sports. You know, a lot of teams are wrapping up right now, pretty much coming to an end of all the seasons. A bunch of them either finished up at CIs or are heading to CIs shortly. I know wrestling actually, they have their national competition this week, so make sure you keep up to date with them. But a lot of teams are wrapping up, so everyone's kind of gearing up for exam season, which is stressful, but exciting too, I guess. All right, guys, we're going to play another song for you, and coming up in just a little bit, we're going to be talking to Jeremy Walsh from the track team. And interesting fact for you, Jeremy ran about 14 kilometers this morning before this race, so we'll be talking how he manages to get himself up that early in the morning. Here's a song right now from the Bicycles. You're listening to 93.3 CFMU. Hey, you're back in the studio with Lindsay Hamilton, and right now we are sitting down with Jeremy Walsh. Jeremy is a 4th-year student studying engineering physics at McMaster University. Sorry, we got some songs going there. Hello. So yeah, Jeremy, thanks so much for coming in today. Welcome to the station. Welcome to Max Marauders.
Well, thanks for having me, Lindsay.
You're very welcome. So, Jeremy, you are a student studying engineering physics. The title alone sounds pretty intense, but you have a job lined up for you after this year, 4th year, McMaster. That must be exciting.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. It has nothing to do with what I did for my degree specifically, but it's still a pretty cool experience.
Oh, so it doesn't really compare to what you've been studying in school, eh?
No. It's I did a lot of nuclear stuff during my undergrad, so this is more water treatment stuff, which is something haven't really experienced much, but it should be good. Should be good. Lots of new things to learn, which I'm excited about.
Very cool. So, Jeremy, on top of studying engineering physics at McMaster, you are also both a cross country and a track participant in 2 sports, I guess, or kind of like a lot of the sports, or a lot of what I understand, a lot of athletes do both cross country and track. What kind of percentage do both, or is it like, are there certain kind of distances that make you eligible for both? How does that work? Because I know there are a fair number that do both cross country and track, right?
Yeah, it's over half of us will do both. We'll just do, when we do cross country, we're running, the guys will run 10K and the girls will run 5K, and then indoors, the longest distance is 3,000, so it's not too far of a drop down, but we'll do anywhere from 600 meters to the 3,000 from the cross country team. Okay,
and now what do you run for track?
Mainly the 1,500 meter. That was my specialty.
1,500 meter.
Yep.
And then during the cross country season, you're running 10 kilometers.
Yep.
Now, do you have a preference? Is it cross country? Is it track? Where does your heart lie? Which one do you like more? I
much prefer cross country just because it's a little more of a team atmosphere and stuff, and it's fun to just go out there with everyone starts at the same time and working hard together. But I'm much better at track, so it's hard to down that.
Okay, so you like the cross country better, but you're kind of more talented at the track, eh?
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah. And now, when did you start running? I mean, how did you kind of get into the sport? Was it something you just always did, or did you fall into it in high school, in public school? When did this journey start?
I started in like all the way through like grade school. We did it like every day. We were running on the cross country team, and then all the way through high school. But it was just one of the sports throughout high school. And then I came to Mac, and I was dead set on joining the volleyball team because I heard
the volleyball team, really?
Yeah, because I heard Preston, the coach, was that you could turn anyone into an amazing volleyball player. So I was dead set on joining that team, and then last minute decided to join the cross country team instead, and no regrets.
Oh, so coming to Mac, it was never kind of like, I'm going to do cross country. You thought you were going to be a volleyball player.
Yeah.
That's very cool. I didn't know that story because you are 6 feet. You're a pretty tall guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so now in high school, I guess, were you doing both cross country and volleyball?
Yep.
Oh,
and hockey and soccer and Nordic skiing and the rest of them. Yeah.
A whole bunch of sports.
Yep.
Well, that's crazy. Okay, and now in high school, how many kilometers do they race?
Is
it the same? Is it 10K?
It was 7K.
7K.
The longest. Yeah.
Okay, so was that pickup kind of difficult? I mean, because there's a certain time you need, for McMaster at least I understand, in order to be eligible for the team, right? You need to run 10K in a certain amount of time?
Yeah, we do a 6K time trial, and then...
and how long do you have to run 6K to make the team?
This year it was 20 minutes and 30 seconds. So
you have to be under 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you run that in?
I don't remember what I ran in this year. It was 19 something.
19
something to make
so you made it.
Yeah.
You made it. Okay, very cool. Wow, that's pretty intense. So let's talk cross country versus track, kind of. Okay. Both are pretty intense, pretty grueling training schedules. Both seasons. Cross country starts in September, is that correct?
Yep.
And it goes till when?
Middle of November is CIs.
Middle of November is CIs. And then when does track start up?
Pretty much right after that.
Okay.
We'll start training seriously in near the end of December and start of January.
Okay, and that goes, well, right now, obviously, CIs were last weekend.
Yep.
Okay, very cool. And then after that, you guys, most of you at least, train all summer too, correct?
Yeah. I'm supposed to do either an outdoor season on the track or do road races.
Okay. Now, speaking of running on the road, for all you listeners out there, I woke up personally at 7:30 this morning, and I thought that was early enough. But Jeremy had a very early wake up. What time did you wake up this morning?
We were out the door running at 6.
6 a.m. And do you want to tell our listeners, I guess, just how many kilometers you ran this morning?
It was 14K with some of the alumni guys.
14 kilometers at 6 a.m. this morning. That's crazy. But very good. And because I was texting you last night about the show pretty late.
Yeah, I didn't get much sleep last night.
I can imagine. So you said with some of the alumni runners, are those just guys kind of who came back, I guess, who also were track and cross country runners, just came back for a couple days and you guys just all hit the road? Yeah,
that was the plan. Just blowing in through town and wanted to say hi to everyone, so go out the night before and then go get a nice run in the next day. It was a good day.
Fun. Now, for the track season, how often do you guys train? Is it every single day? Is it kind of on-off days? How does that work?
We're training every day. On Mondays and Wednesdays, those are our workout days. So usually Monday, we're doing a road workout. And then on Wednesdays, we're on the track doing intervals. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays are get jacked days, which sound a little misleading because if you look at anyone on the track team, we're not that jacked.
It's called get jacked.
Get jacked, yeah.
Okay, and what exactly is get jacked?
We've yet to get jacked, but we try every week. Just a bunch of like circuits, more or less. We're doing like push-ups, sit-ups, and then some strides.
So a good workout?
Yeah.
So you're getting jacked slowly, one step at a time?
Yeah, one step at a time.
Very cool. Okay. Well, Jeremy, we're going to cut to a song right now, and then coming up after the break, we're going to talk Relay for Life, which is happening this weekend, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, guys, keep listening in. After the break, we'll be talking to Jeremy more about cross country, his experience as a student athlete, and of course, Relay for Life, which is happening this Friday from 7 p.m. until Saturday morning, 7 a.m. You're listening to 93.3 CFMU. Hey, you're back in the studio with Lindsay Hamilton listening to Max Marauders. Just about wrapping up our show in a few minutes, but we have a few more minutes to talk to Jeremy Walsh from McMaster's track team and cross country team. If you missed the earlier part of our interview, he ran 14 kilometers this morning, just casually, just for fun. Woke up at 6 a.m. and did it. So pretty talented guy, has had a great season. So Jeremy, before you go, you're obviously both an intense student at McMaster. Like we said, you're engineering physics physics and an athlete. What has kind of been the highlight of your career so far in your last 4 years? Could there be kind of a moment that you look back on and say, wow?
I don't know if I could pick a moment, but it's just just every weekend when we're just doing long runs with the guys and just sort of joking around and stuff. That's the thing I'm going to miss the most.
Mm-hmm. But I still, obviously, you said the alumni run was this morning. Some alumni guys come back. So you can still definitely be involved in the McMaster running community, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And you did mention that you have a full-time job starting in June in Oakville. So that's nice and close to Hamilton.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I'll still be around.
Yeah. And running, I guess something is that you can take with you for years down the road. I mean, we have had a lot of graduating athletes in our studio, kind of. And a lot of them, what's unfortunate is this is kind of the highest level of competition they'll reach, once they go on to their next thing. A lot of teams like football or basketball, unless they kind of rally a group of guys to play with, they can never keep doing that sport. But cross country is something that a lot of, you can peak even after university career in some senses, right?
Yeah, it's more typical.
Yeah, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
So you have a great career ahead of yourself. And speaking of running events, quickly while we have you here, Relay for Life. Let's talk about Relay for Life for a few minutes. So if you don't mind, maybe explain to our listeners what it's all about.
It's a fundraiser for the Canadian Cancer Society. It's this Friday from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. We just get different teams from different areas to sign up online, and you got to have one person on the track at all times walking around, and then you just trade off all night and have some fun in between.
And now, what track does that take place?
The McMaster track here.
Okay, the McMaster track. So one kind of bundles up. And guys, if you haven't done it before, either if you're a McMaster student or someone in the Hamilton community, it's essentially, like Jeremy mentioned, a 12-hour run walkathon kind of thing. And you have to have one member from your team walking or running at all times. So 3:30 a.m., one of you's got to be on the track. Can't all be sleeping. Someone's got to be on the track doing your thing. And they also have a lot of cool events, right? They have yoga and bands playing and food, all kinds of stuff, right?
Dance lessons. Karaoke.
There you go. Very cool. And can people still donate?
Yeah, they can still donate.
So maybe tell listeners how they can donate, I guess, to support your team, support you this weekend.
If you go online, I'm not sure the website is convio.cancer.ca. You can search for the McMaster Relay for Life event, and our team is the McMaster cross country team, and donate to us. Side note that the top 3 donors to our team will get a signed photo from our team, signed by everyone on our team. So
look at that, incentives even. Yeah. Incentives. Very cool. Well, Jeremy, thanks so much for joining us this morning. Best of luck with the rest of your track cross-country career and with the full-time job. And, of course, Relay for Life.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. Well, guys, you heard it. Relay for Life happening this Friday, 7 p.m. to Saturday morning, 7 a.m. If you want to either get involved or be a donor, make sure you check that out. You can just Google McMaster Relay for Life. As Jeremy mentioned, you can still donate to the cross-country team and many other teams and runners or walkers participating this weekend. Make sure you donate. Check out what it's all about. It's for the Canadian Cancer Society. McMaster does it every year. It's a very cool event, so make sure you're aware about that. Thanks, guys, so much for listening. You can tune in, of course, every Wednesday morning, 9:30 a.m. right here with me, Lindsay Hamilton, on 93.3 CFMU. And, of course, follow us on Twitter at Max Marauders, or you can follow me at Lindsay on Family. Thanks so much for listening. Hopefully you have a great Wednesday. I'm not sure if there's still flurries outside. There might be, but hopefully it's still a beautiful Wednesday morning.